I could not wait to wake up this morning at all. Good gracious. I'm sorry I lost my voice at Hooters last night. I'll have that footage up to you guys later. So I was screaming. It was nuts. But man, what's up?
I mean, did we put the beat down on them? And what about Devin Hester? Talk.
I mean, we made some incredible stops on him. I mean, we kicked away from him at the beginning, but the rest of the game, it was kicking right to him.
I mean, he was fair catching. He dropped he dropped 2 kicks that he had to go back and recover. I mean, it was like he was nervous.
Yep, because he felt like he had to do it all in the game. And I'll tell you, this team. Well, what I said on my blog, and what I said on DC Fanatic Radio and Star Brandon Sports Talk, that we gave them matchup problems from hell. Us as Dallas Cowboy fans were thinking, oh, wow, we're playing the Bears. But you didn't think about it. They were thinking, God, we got the Cowboys coming to town with their high-powered offense, and they had to stop us. And they couldn't throughout the whole game. And then
they had no answer. I mean,
no.
I mean, if they tried to take T.O. away, Witten was going to get him. If they tried to take Witten away, T.O. busted open. And then the whole time they're chasing, Tony Romo around in the pocket like they got their heads cut off. They couldn't find the guy.
Exactly. They were saying on the television how Romo shredded the defense, and he was just doing everything at will. And that's what I wanted. If we go back to the first half, we were playing pretty conservative. We wasn't taking shots down the field like we should have. We was running the ball a lot. And then the second half, Red, Mr. Aggressive, said, let's go get him.
I think his pattern is in the first half, he tries to figure out what's going to work. He tries different stuff, see what he can get established. And once he gets a pretty good idea, I mean, he goes into halftime, makes those adjustments. I wrote on the blog last night, we've scored 30 first-half points this year, and we've scored 86 second-half points this year. So we almost triple our production in the second half.
Yeah. But I'm pretty mad our points per game went down to, a little over 38 points a game.
Yeah, I mean, the offense is slipping. We got to face that fact.
The highlight that I have from the game is Brian Urlacher grabbing at the back of Marion Barber and just falling flat on his face with Marion gone.
Yeah. I mean, that was beautiful. The guy I like is Adam Archuleta. Sam Hurd lit him up, and then MB3 ran right over him for a TD.
Exactly. And you know what? I'm glad you brought up Archuleta because there were some key plays made by certain people that changed the focus of the game. When they blocked that kick, and Archuleta picked it up and took off down the sidelines, it looked like a Sports Center highlight against us already. The taking it back to block kick for a touchdown. But your boy Pat Q came from nowhere.
I know.
Just knocked him out of bounds.
McHugh, man. I mean, that was the last person I expected to come running from the, right side of the screen into my picture and laying him out on the sidelines. It was funny. I was watching an Oakland game earlier, and I saw his twin brother on the sideline. And I thought, well, when the heck did we get rid of McHugh? What's he doing in Oakland?
Yeah, he started out better than Pat, but then I think Pat's doing well also. Patrick Creighton.
Yeah.
Were you sick as I was when he dropped that touchdown pass?
Yeah, I mean, I couldn't believe that. I had visions of Jackie Smith against the Steelers in the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
I mean, just so wide open. The ball was right there, and he just dropped it. I mean, maybe he had some some more things in his head because of that broken finger.
Yeah,
than just catching the ball.
Somebody was telling me his finger's all right because he was returning punts last week. I said catching a punt is totally different than catching a rocket from Tony Romo, especially when your pinky's there the first contact on the ball. So if you don't have it perfect and the ball hits your hand wrong, it's going to hurt. And I think a lot of that was in his mind. And then Madden also said during pregame he was dropping a lot of passes.
Yeah,
so,
it was probably on his mind having the broken pinky,
Yeah.
He was probably trying to think about protecting it when he was catching.
Right.
and took his mind off of what he actually had to do.
Right. So 2 plays really hurt us when he had the ball in his hands and let it go off, and Archuleta got the interception.
I still contend Tony Romo threw that ball high. I mean, he only really got his fingertips up on that. I mean,
he hit his hands, though, you know? It did hit his hands.
I mean, you know, you can't I don't think you can blame not catching a high pass that really only hits on your fingertips on the finger. But that touchdown was right in his hand.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm not giving him a pass for the other one. You can't. I'm not. What else? The officiating was killing me.
Terrible. I mean, that call that they had on T.O. for pass interference on kind of a nothing play, he ran right up to the guy and made his turn, barely any contact. I mean, that was symbolic of how ridiculous some of those penalties were.
Clip on Witten.
Yeah.
He clearly hit the dude in the front.
Yeah.
The ghost hold on, who did they call it on? Leonard Davis.
Yeah, Leonard Davis.
Run. It was. I'm like, where was that? And then that crap in the second half. Into the second half. First half.
Every time we got a big play, it seemed like they were determined to bring it back with a penalty.
Yep.
You know, although we got to admit, Flozell was up to his average on false starts penalty for the game. Oh,
yeah, Flozell was Flozell.
Yeah.
And we did give up 3 sacks, the same as Grossman. And I honestly think that Chicago is giving Grossman, too much of the blame on this one. I mean, he got in the situation where we wanted him, when they were behind and he had to throw the ball. That defense broke down on them. We were shredding the defense. We started shredding it through the pass, and then we start feeding them Barber. So the defense got to step up and take some kind of blame for that loss and quit throwing everything squarely on the shoulders of Rex Grossman. He's not the greatest quarterback in the world. They need to do their job, and they didn't.
Yeah, he didn't get a whole lot of help. I mean, that defense, you could tell by deep in the second half, their defense was gassed.
Yeah.
They were running around, and they could not catch up. And like we talked about at the beginning, Devin Hester gave them no help, and they usually depend on their special teams to give them some help. The only help they really got in special teams was blocking that field goal.
Yeah, and we stopped their running game completely.
Yeah.
How can you expect a quarterback to be successful with no running game? So,
yeah. I mean, hey, what about Jay Ratliff? All right, man, we got to like Ratliff for holding in there in the middle. And then his backup, Remy Adele, was the guy who stripped that fumble.
Called the fumble. Yep. Did a great job. Candy had a good game. Spencer, beautiful sack for Spencer.
Nice stunt move. They stunted him into the middle. They had the defensive end go outside, and he came around the middle. Great job of finally, making the play, but finishing it with the sack, which is what we've been waiting on from him.
And now we don't have to go to any message boards again and see the where's where thing. I was so sick of that. There he was. He was there last night.
Yeah, speaking of that play, what about more of the refs, giving us the business by not giving us that last play? There was like 2 to 3 seconds left at the end of the half when Ware tackled him, and they just let it go like nothing happened. Yep.
All right, guys, we're going to get out of here, but I just want to say that there are going to be some teams that are going to give us some matchup problems. The Bears did not give us matchup problems like other teams. Teams that can score with us is going to give us some problems throughout the season. So don't drink too much of the Kool-Aid because it's a long season. This is week 3. It's a long way to go before we, are seeing the Patriots in the Super Bowl.
Yeah, but you gotta feel like we kind of took a step up in this game. Everybody was talking about the Bears. Can they beat the Bears defense? They haven't played anybody yet. Well, all that's out the window now. So, we're ready to roll. Bring them on.
Got them. All right, we'll see you guys on Friday when we talk about the Rams.
Peace.
Peace.